It's Week 15 of the National Football League, and we've got the Dolphins' sure-handed wide receiver. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Dolphins and the Jets coming up next.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Visitors, the Dolphins. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Throwing to start here is Tua. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. So here come the Jets for their initial possession of the game. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the cornerback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Now Hall to start the drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Hall again on second down. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. You talk about this Miami defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense.
The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Returnable for Thomas. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, it shouldn't take. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Edwards. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
Now HN on 1st and 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Now Lewis selects to return it. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet. for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A throw over the middle taken in. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now, this first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he can just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
Here's Thomas on the return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. So now here come the Dolphins. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate for any type of a comeback.
Now a throw. First down, but it winds up incomplete. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple. Oh, now meanwhile, contact downfield on the deep ball. Penalty flags come showering in. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
Turbo 1 hard, Turbo 1 hard. Out.
Running left, Achane. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. And this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Hey, Turbo 2, Turbo 2, Turbo 2. Ready.
Fights through him. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 28-0.
Jason Sanders, the kickoff for Miami.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. And New York set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You talk about this Miami defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Here's Edwards looking to throw on second down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Third and 19. Back to throw. Edwards. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable for Thomas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Open man downfield is Hill. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
21G, 21G. Come on, hard.
Now Tua. Oh, that's going to be intercepted. Going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Ready. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Edwards now to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Here we go.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Edwards. And he'll find Hall. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And the Jets first down.
Ready?
We are in for a good one as we're through one. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Opposite. Green, yellow, lining, check white.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7. Set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Edwards looking to throw on 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Blue check. Black block. Commit red.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Back to the ground with Hall. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their step.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Green, yellow, lining, check white, check pink, blue check.
To throw is Edwards. Throwing on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it. For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a toss right side, HN with it. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made here at the 36. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held, so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
2 and now on first down. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling with this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Ready?
Now Edwards to throw on second down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Let's go.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more than he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Here's Thomas. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. A good start to the drive here. That's caught out on the left side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Second and a couple. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yes, you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready?
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And check down, complete to Hall. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 36. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they're looking for another win here at MetLife Stadium to take the season series 2-zip. 2nd and 10.
Zion. 20, TX. Let's go. Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion. Out.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays to... Stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Tua. Incomplete.
That might... stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. They're going deep for Hill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 55 yards. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The New York set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Here's Edwards. Throwing again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
Ready.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and forever. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking on the midfield logo. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Able to find his man, John Phillips. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
All right, come on.
Now 2nd and 5.
Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion. Yeah. Hey, 21 T8.
Tua sets up to pass it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. The New York set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to put...
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to roll. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. New York ready to go again offensively. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Here we go.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
Stay. Hut. Stay.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin in the AFC as we've got Buffalo on the road at Indianapolis. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Zay Jones, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Keenan Allen, well over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. In that first half, it was a veteran quarterback who led the charge. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team. And find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. To throw on second down, Edwards. Into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Paul again. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for New York. Taking it about the 16. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that. But also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got it to about the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle with career touchdown number 145, tying it with Marcus Allen for 6th on the all-time list. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The New York set to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Edwards. Catch it. And they get him to the ground quickly, but midfield. Yard line. A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Edwards now. Throwing on 1st down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
There again is Cooks. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're eight. Down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Ready?
They'll give to Hall. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 57 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for New York. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to get coverage in his direction.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, In addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And now, maybe a yard up to the 24.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 9.
21G, 21G. Hey. Cover 3, kick. Cover 3, kick. Ready?
Looking to pass. Tua. To the sideline and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 30 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
It's showtime, baby.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
20, TX.
Tua going to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 46 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Lewis selects to return it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
On the ready.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And they're going to get the... taken down.
That's good for a Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Brian Brzee. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Switch, yellow, opposite, green.
Operating from the gun, Edwards under pressure, and down he goes. Brian Brzee able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Thomas. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins drive on offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the 2nd down and 4. On the toss, here's Achane. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Check that. Street.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That is caught, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
70 Timberwolves.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Tag.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Phillips. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On the carry, it's Chestnut. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Julius Chestnut taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Set, ready. Ready.
Edwards on 1st and 10. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw is Edwards. Back to the air on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And you can say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Cougar 19. Ready.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
He's brought down by Shaq Thompson. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Come on, come on.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
60 boxes, 60 boxes.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 52 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Let's go now.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out. Talk about 2 sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
Ready.
Operating from the gun, Edwards. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Returnable now for Woodson. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Second and 9 from the 44. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
A give, running right, Achane. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, business as usual for them, well on their way to another victory, riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, either threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Dolphins, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.